Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. Hey, I just wanted to reach out to you folks about all the stuff that's going on and just some kind of words of encouragement, words of wisdom, if you will. We're going through an awful lot these days. Go figure, right? Elect a clown, expect a circus, right? And it's creating a lot of stress and anxiety. And one of the things I've noted in the past with tarot reading, and it's been my own experience as well, is that tarot reading is really great about kind of taking the temperature down a little bit when you're feeling really anxious. Being able to just kind of, even if it's not an accurate picture into the future, it gives you stuff to think about and can bring some comfort, mental comfort, and ease that anxiety that you're feeling. I know when Dave first started doing these readings, what I was finding was after I watched a reading of his, I felt a lot better. And hopefully you're experiencing that same thing, whether you're watching us or Linda G or Libby or Rosie Down Under or whomever, Marina, whoever you watch, right? I'm hoping they bring that relief to you. Dave and I, when we put these videos together after the election in November, it was a very sobering time for both of us. Dave kind of shut down. He really takes his stuff to heart, and he shut down for a whole week. And I kind of picked up the banner and ran down the field with it. But I'm not going to lie, emotionally, it was devastating to me as well. But I wanted to try and continue to bring that mental relief and help reduce the temperature in the room a bit. I'm saying this because I know that there's some of our readings tend to be not as sexy as maybe some of the other readers. And after the elections in November, Dave and I have really tried to balance hope and realism with some of the real far out theories that are out there. I would love it if NATO came rushing in at the last minute and pulled, displayed receipts and that got Trump removed, or Putin, displayed receipts and got Trump removed. I'd be thrilled. I'd do triple flips for that. The likelihood of that, at the end of the day, we'll ask questions, we'll throw the cards, and we'll interpret what we see. But, I'm very hopeful, but I'm not terribly optimistic. So if some of our readings seem a little more pedestrian lately, that's part of the reason why we're just trying to keep it real for you. It's not to say that something can't come out of left field, and if it does, Dave and I will be the first to say, hey, whoever read that was right and we were wrong, and they had much better vision than we did. But, we're just trying, we don't want to build false hope and get you guys disappointed again if we don't interpret the cards correctly. So just a couple of things I wanted to share. It's turbulent times. It really sucks right now if you've got any sort of empathy and compassion in you, because you're watching all of this unfold from Trump, and it's just really heartbreaking what we're seeing. So, keep hopeful, keep faithful. This, it's not what we wanted, but have faith that we're on the right path, that this is meant to happen. And when we get to the other end of this path, we will realize why everything that happened. We just don't have that vision right now. Some other advice I'd give you is, it's okay to unplug. It's okay to get rid of stuff that doesn't serve you. As I mentioned on a video the other day, I haven't watched any news since the election. I haven't watched Midas Touch. I even stopped watching Beau of the Fifth Column, which is some of the more balanced and insightful stuff. So I'll probably start up with Beau again. And then I'll probably maybe slowly dish in a little bit of Midas Touch. But CNN, MSNBC, some of these other news agencies. I've just haven't been reading or watching anything. I'll read AP News because it's just the facts, right? And if Dave and I are going to present what's happening, I do need to keep on top of it. I just don't need a news service to tell me how I need to feel. I believe me, at 59 years old, I know how I feel about certain things. So, good, bad, or indifferent, that's how God made me. That's how my life experience has been. I know when I'm outraged. I know when I'm happy, right? So unplug the stuff that doesn't serve you. Sometimes you might need to walk away from a friendship for a while until everyone's balanced, and that you remember friendships are supposed to be supportive. A friendship is, they're there to pick you up when you're down. You're there to pick them up when they're down, to listen to them when they have a problem. If you've got a frenemy that's, not serving your mental needs, your mental health needs, or your emotional needs, your physical needs, it's okay to put a hold on that friendship for a while. You can, try to keep the bridge there, but maybe it's time for a little me time, right? Try and remain kind, try and remain compassionate. It's very hard to do when the folks on the other side are so in your face about everything. They're gonna find out. They are finding out. We're just starting to see the TikTok videos and the YouTube videos coming up where these MAGA faithful are starting to realize what the hell they just voted for. We're sitting there like, he told you what he was going to do. Why didn't you believe him? We believed him. But, some people are a little slow to learn. So try and be kind, try to be compassionate, try and be at least willing to forgive. A lot of these folks have been lied to repeatedly by people they trust. Trump has been lying to them. Their news agencies have been lying to them. And it's not just Fox, it's all the other news agencies that they're listening to. And now, you've got these oligarchs are buying all the news agencies. So, now CNN supports what I'm seeing on Fox, so it must be true. It's easier to believe what they're telling you than it is to actually go out there and do a little research. I sometimes run into that in the comment sections where some of the comments are getting a little over into the left side of the extremism, and you have to kind of reel it back in and say, okay, hold on there. That's not quite what happened. So try not to fall into that same pit that they've fallen into on the right. We've got it on the left. Try to avoid it. Certainly at least verify your own facts before start spouting everything as truth. AI is very convincing these days. Dave and I were about ready to do a reading last night, and his wife Michelle came in with a TikTok. It was an AI, and Dave looked at it and said, okay, that's AI. But it was really, really believable. Shelley was somewhat convinced it was real. And Dave's like, no, that's fake. But it's getting awfully damn scary how realistic it can be. Some of these deep fakes are going to get really convincing. So you just got to keep balanced. And then just know that, we're here to support you. Whether it's this channel or whatever favorite channel you have, you can reach out to us. This is a safe place for you to communicate. Once again, if the comment's a little on the extremism and it's not quite fact-based, I'll reel you in. I'll be really nice about it. I'm not going to call you names or anything. It's just, if you're repeating something someone else said, if I know something different, I'll try and reel you in, or at least give you perspective. Maybe I'm wrong and you're right. And it's just perspective on, okay, well, this is why I'm maybe not agreeing with you. And then we can sort of either agree to disagree or, find out where the real path lies, right? And, and then just, someone had mentioned in the comments that the DOJ basically dismissed the case against Waltine Nada and Carlos de Oliveira. And I think what I read was the DOJ is not, they wanted to drop their appeal. So basically Judge Aileen Cannon's order is not being appealed right now. I think that's short of dismissing it, but because it can always come back later if we get like sanity back in the White House and the Department of Justice. But that really just went up my nose when I verified that out on the internet. You're seeing so much injustice, especially Trump is just putting a beacon spotlight on the injustice and the corruption, with the J6, basically the pardoning all the J6 people, now Waltine Nada and Carlos de Oliveira having their case basically shut down, all of the cases against Trump that got shut down or dismissed. You're seeing the ICE raids on the folks that are on either illegal aliens or sometimes legal immigrants. You're seeing so much injustice out there, and it's heartbreaking and it's heart-wrenching. And Dave and I have a tough time wanting choosing a topic to do the readings on, because there's so much happening that's causing so much fear and anxiety. And it's I think what we're going to have to start doing is, instead of the actual act, it's trying to get to the root cause. What are they trying to do? Dave's really been beating the drum on how the right is trying to privatize everything, the mail service, healthcare, your 401k, or rather Social Security. Because, of course, privatization just means more money for whoever's the private company that's running the program, right? You're not going to do it if you're going to lose money, right? And the comment, I think this video is coming out tonight, the one that I'm making this comment about, but it's just like, if you got privatization and oligarchs running things, what could possibly go wrong? Ask Russia, right? Russia's just a case study on what can go wrong if you over privatize and you don't have controls in place to make sure that I had to stop my timer on my phone. What happens if you over privatize and you don't have controls in place? The corruption runs rampant. Look what's happening now. We're starting to see the corruption, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And that just really gets up my nose. I think, if there are rules, you should follow them. You should, every once in a while review the rules to make sure they're fair and they're reasonable. And so, for some of these immigration raids, I kind of get it. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you either enter the country illegally, you overstayed your visa, whatnot. There should be consequences for that. But these are complex issues, and it's not just as simple as round them up and ship them home. I think we need a more thoughtful approach than that. But for MAGA, hey, that's good enough. Round them up, send them home. Someone else had mentioned in the comments, and it kind of cracked me up, that they were in their local grocery store, supermarket, and the self-checkout machines were disabled or removed. And this lady commented to them, "Oh, well, that's great. See, Trump's already giving people jobs, so they don't need the self-checkout." It didn't sit well with this person, so they asked someone at the store, someone who worked there, and they said, "Oh, yeah, it's because of theft." And it's just amazing how you can spin something to match your bias. Just like, "Oh, yeah, well, Trump's already providing jobs. This is great." It's just like, oh, man. Some people are just a little slower than others, and unfortunately, the rest of us need to suffer because someone else is a little slow. They'll get there. This is going to take some time, but they'll get there. And just keep faithful. Know that we're going to get through this. We're going to be fine. It's really rough right now. The last 2 weeks with Trump, it felt like 2 years. I'm actually looking forward to him going golfing because, God, we need a break from this moron. Okay, so since I've got cards in front of me, I'll throw some cards. But I just wanted to thank you all for being here for me and for my brother. this is very cathartic for me uh, to talk to you folks, to read your comments and respond, to read these cards and just kind of release the stress on it. So we're just going to do a quick reading here. Are we going to be okay at the end of this? Here, I just told you we were, but how are we going to feel at the end of this? 4 years from now, how are we going to be feeling? Okay, Foundation, Queen of Wands. A lot happened. The Queen of Wands is about multitasking, doing lots of things all at once. Yeah, we went through a lot. The challenge is judgment. The challenge is we need people to stand up and be counted. This is why we're going through this, because people have not stood up to be counted. They haven't learned their lesson yet. Underneath it, the High Priestess, divine feminine wisdom. If we ask the right questions, we'll get the right answers. And so right now, Trump is dismantling everything. So we've got to come up with the right solutions. Ask the right questions and get to the right solutions on how to fix this. In the past, Temperance, prior to this election, or prior to 2016, there was a certain amount of balance we felt. We believed in our government and our judicial system. And we, maybe we weren't totally trusting in politicians, but we believed in the system. And it's been shown that that's not how it's been. And we need to try and keep as calm as we can. Current situation, Page of Cups. We're seeing the lunacy. We're seeing the crazy that has been brought because we're no longer balanced. The overarching energy is the world. 4 years from now, it's the end of a cycle. This is coming to an end in 4 years. We're going to be fine. Everything is working as it should. The lesson to be learned, Ace of Cups, just a new strong emotion. I've never been big into politics. Frankly, I don't enjoy politics at all. So it's just ironic. I'm doing tarot reading on politics. I really have little to no interest in it. But here we are, right? But we've got this Ace of Cups. 4 years from now, what we need to learn is emotions. And it's probably, like for MAGA, it's learning compassion, learning forgiveness, learning not to judge, that type of stuff. For us, it's letting them make their mistakes and not trying to save them. Being willing to forgive. They've been misled by a bunch of people that they felt they could trust. I know it's really hard, and I know right now Dave would be yelling at me, but that's the lesson to be learned here. Outcome, King of Pentacles. Lots of things of value will happen at the end of this. Trump and the oligarchs, they're not going to be around forever. Their cycle is coming to an end. And we will start to bring things of value and make this country prosperous and fair and compassionate and kind again. Because we seem to have lost our way right now. Anyways, so I just want to thank y'all for being here. I'm going to just throw this one up this afternoon. And we've got a really good reading coming up tonight. We recorded it yesterday. Let's see I gotta see what David titled it. David titled it content. Oh yes, MAGA effing around and finding out. So it's a discussion and reading on, are they getting there, right? Because that's what we need to do to get out of this cycle, is for MAGA to finally understand what the hell what's going on. Anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Take a deep breath. We'll get through this. The sun will rise in the east and set in the west like it always has. We'll get through this. If you like these videos, leave a comment. I tell you, I read every single one. Thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you want to get woken up every day at midnight Pacific with a new video. We really appreciate you. We hope you have a wonderful day, and take care, everybody. Bye.